I'm gonna peel some apples for you, and if you want to see how I make these super easy apple pie rings, stay tuned. Welcome to my channel, The Baking Diva. And if you're new here, don't forget before you leave, hit that subscribe and that little bell till it says all, and that's it. That's all you have to do. And you'll get a notification whenever I have a new video up. Well, I'm going on vacation in a few days, and I won't be able to put a video up for maybe about a week or so. Not till I come back from vacation, and then I'll show you some clips of that. But today, I wanted to get this in for you in case you wanted to make it. I'm going to call these apple pie rings. Although, when I look at them, I think of like a flower. They're so easy to do. You won't believe it. Just a few ingredients and poof, you're done. Now, I happen to have this apple peeler that I have had for, I don't know, I want to say 15 or 20 years. It's old and it still works. So you're going to need like maybe 3 or 4 apples. And I showed you in the beginning how fast this peels them. But you don't have to have a peeler. You can just peel them the way you would your regular apples with a regular potato peeler or whatever. So for this recipe, I would say you're going to need 3 or 4 nice size apples. The rounder, the better. You can use any type you like. So what I'm going to do first of all is I preheated my oven to 400 degrees. So now I'm going to peel these 3 apples. So let me put this on and start it. I love this thing. I mean, you can't beat that. Look at that. A perfectly peeled apple. So let me peel my 3rd one. Move these over here. Put it on. Okay, put it on and start it. Alrighty, so that was sure quick enough. If anything, that'll make you want to buy an apple peeler. So I'm done with this. I'm going to move it out of the way. Alright, so now I have these apples here. What I want to do is, I have a knife here, my cutting board. I want to slice these in maybe nice thick 1/4 inch slices, let's say. So let me start at the end. I'll just cut that end off there. Now, yes, your core is still in there, but I'll show you what we're going to do. So that's about good. So you want it to be about that, like that. Not too thin. So let me continue to do this. Whoopsie! This is a perfect one to show you here. See that? I'll do another one. And I'm going to finish cutting these 3 apples into slices off camera. Okay, so as you can see, I sliced my apples into nice pieces, but they still have the core in them. So we want to get rid of that. We want to cut out the middle. It looks like a donut. So I happen to have these little cutters here, biscuit cutters or cookie cutters. If you don't have that, just use a knife. And I'm going to press it down in the middle, just like this. Perfect. And there you go. This is what you want. It almost looks like a little pineapple slice. So I'm going to do all of them like this. Just take the middle, either with your cutter or a knife. Press it down, it takes the core out, and you have these. So let me finish doing these off camera, and I'll be right back and we'll do our next step. Okay, so I cut all my rings, my apple rings, and in a plate, you can use a plate or a bowl, whatever you prefer. I mix together in here 2 tablespoons of granulated white sugar and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and I just mixed them all together. Needs to be in a dish or something because you're going to be dipping these and coating these in there. All right. So next you're going to need some puff pastry. This comes frozen, but you want to thaw it out in the refrigerator before you use it because you want it thawed out, but you want it still cold. Because if you try to roll it out when it's warm, you're going to have some problems with it. So this is puff pastry sheets, and 2 come in a box. It's by Pepperidge Farm. So I have them over here. I opened it up, and I put some parchment paper down with a little bit of flour. And I'm going to lay this flat onto the parchment paper. Just makes it easier to roll out that way. And I have my handy dandy rolling pin over there. And of course, I have flour on my top. What else is new, Dolores? Okay. All right, so here's my rolling pin. I'm just gonna roll this out a little bit. Not too thin, but we wanna roll it out. You wanna try to make the length of it maybe about close to maybe 10 inches. So we're gonna roll it this way. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. All right. That should work fine. Flour just helps to prevent it from sticking to the paper. It might stick a little bit, but it's okay. There we go. Okay. Now, you want to take a sharp knife. I want to make sure this isn't stuck on here when I try to cut it. So you're going to take a sharp knife, and we want to cut this lengthwise in about 1/2-inch strips. Just like this. So this is what you want them to look like. Just a nice strip like this, right? Now, I have my cinnamon and sugar here. You can do all your apples right away if you want. Just take your apple, and if it breaks a little bit, don't worry, because the pastry dough is going to cover it. So I'm just going to put both sides of this apple in the cinnamon and sugar. You can do that with all your apples. Gives it a nice flavor. And that's why I said use a flat dish if you can, because it just makes it easier to coat your apples. Here we go. This is the easiest recipe, and it comes out so good. And apples are good for you, so I'm going to just get a few of these coated now so we can get going. All right. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to cut our strips, our 1/2-inch strips, just like that. Easy to cut. See that? Okay, and we already preheated our oven to 400 degrees. I have a cookie sheet that I've lined with parchment paper. Here we go. Very easy to cut. Get them all in strips here. Okay, do another one. You can roll it out a little bit more if you want, a little bit less. I have about 8 strips here. So then what we're going to do, let me move this up. I hope you're all having a nice day. It's hot here in New Jersey. Yesterday and the day before were pretty hot too. But this morning, oh my goodness. let me just tell you, we had a thunderstorm. The thunder was so loud. It could wake up the dead, let me tell you. It was so scary and so loud. So, okay, here I have, working with a small spot here, here I have my parchment lined cookie sheet. Now what we're going to do, and I'll try to put a still in for you so you can see it better. We're going to take an apple slice that we've dipped into the cinnamon and the sugar. We're going to take one of our puff pastry pieces. We're going to start by putting it in the middle like that, and then we're going to weave it like in and out. You're going to leave a space in between the apple and the pastry. So let me pull that out. I'll show you a close-up in a minute. Just be careful because you don't want to rip your pastry, but this is basically in, out. It's very easy. Okay. Because you want part of your apple to show. And when these bake in the oven and they puff up, they remind me of little flowers. Although they're just called like apple rings, puff pastry apple rings. So you see how I did this here? And you can fool with it if you want. Put that around there. You see how there's little spaces in between the pastry? So when that puffs up and it bakes, they look like little flowers. At least that's what they look like to me. And we're going to put that right down on the pastry sheet, on the baking sheet. So let me take another strip. Here we go. I'm going to take our apple slice, push it through the middle first, and then you can squeeze it and connect it. And now you're just going to go in and out, in and out. Just like that. In and out, in and out. See how I'm doing that? And I'm leaving a space between the apple, just like that, and the pastry. So I'm going to get the rest of these done off camera. You see the idea of it. When I get them done, I'm going to brush the pastry with a little bit of egg wash. It's just an egg that I mixed up here, and I have a pastry brush. And then I'm going to put these babies in my oven, my 400-degree oven, for about 20-22 minutes. All ovens are different, so keep your eye on them. And then we're going to do a taste testing. I'm going to sprinkle a little confectioner's sugar on these, and they are delicious. They're best when eaten warm. So I'll be back as soon as I take them out of the oven. So stay tuned. Okay, as you can see, I put about 8 of them on this sheet. I wrapped them all around. I'll put a still in, and now I'm just going to brush the pastry, the puff pastry, with just a little egg wash. Helps it get nice and brown in the oven. These are so delicious, and look at how many ingredients. We had apples, we had puff pastry, cinnamon sugar, and I'm brushing them with a little egg wash. And that's it. I mean, what are we talking about? 4 ingredients here, or 5? All right. And imagine serving these with a little ice cream on the side. Maybe even a little scoop of ice cream in the middle. So, all right, let me get these in the oven, and I'll be back to show you what they look like. Look at these beauties. I baked them for 20 minutes. They're still sizzling on the cookie sheet. So I'm going to give them a couple of minutes to cool, and then we are doing a taste testing. Okay, so as you can see, I took these out of the oven. They look delicious, and they still look to me like flowers. But I'm going to take them off the cookie sheet. I'm gonna put them on the dish here. I mean, these are amazing. Like I said, you could serve them alone. You can serve them with, vanilla ice cream. Yummy. Wow. I'm gonna put one in my dish right here to do a taste testing. The apples are nice and tender. The puff pastry, oh, they look so good. Take these off. I can't wait to dig in. I'd like to put some confectioner sugar on them, but you know, that's gonna melt because they're still warm. But maybe I'll wait a little bit and try it. So because they're so hot, I have a knife and a fork here. So what do you say? I know you all love it when I do taste testing, so. Oh yeah, the apples nice and tender. Think vanilla ice cream right in the middle or on the side. Oh yeah, these are gonna be hot. The apple is completely soft. It's not mushy, but it's soft. The puff pastry is delicious. Cinnamon and sugar, these are so good. So I'm gonna put the recipe down below for you in that more box if you'd like to try it. You saw how easy they were to make. I want to thank you all for taking time out of your busy day to watch me make these. They're called Puff Pastry Apple Rings. I don't know, I'm calling them Puff Pastry Apple Flowers. So anyway, if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love to have you come along on this baking journey with me, where I also do quite a few other things. And since I'm going on vacation, the next video will probably be some clips from that when we go to Cape May, New Jersey and Wildwood Crest, New Jersey. I love the beach. That's my happy place. So anyway, I'm gonna finish eating this. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day and I'll see you all very soon. Toodles!